For me to be able to stop having sex, I realized that as much as I believe that certain people will not make it into heaven because of their sins, I wasn't being honest about the fact that I'm also not making it into heaven with the way that I'm living life, because I'm a fornicator. And if you're not that honest with yourself, you're going to keep convincing yourself that the life you're living is okay. And then you're going to be shocked when you come face to face with Jesus and he says, worker of iniquity, bye. I don't want that for y'all. I'm going to tell you now.
Started reading, more and more sort of graphic, erotic, sexualized versions of this novel. And I was embarrassed. So I would hide that I was reading them. And that gets into the whole double life of addiction, where now we're lying about our use, we're using our drug over here, but pretending like we're not. So my kids or my husband would walk in the room and I would be, hiding behind another book, one book behind another book. So it looked like I was reading something, I don't know, more sophisticated. And then the tipping point for me came really when I got a Kindle or an e-reader. And then my reading was totally anonymous. I could read these books anywhere, anytime. No one knew what I was reading. And as soon as I finished one, I could read another one. And I almost overnight became a chain reader. Like literally, when I wasn't doing something else that I had to do, I was reading romance novels, one after another after another.
I've been porn-free for 3 months. Let's talk about it. First of all, let me clarify. I've been free from pornography before, but I did relapse. This has been the hardest 3 months, I think, of my life. Not because I'm not watching pornography, but because I am having to live a new way. Sexuality, the conversation is still there, but I am not expressing myself sexually. Also, sidebar, I have not been talking to men for 8 months. And so on top of being corn free, I have not been romantically involved with anyone. And so my level of sexual expression is at an all-time low. All-time low. And so living my life, I've been telling people, I literally feel like an elementary schooler. I feel like a middle schooler, that is not even experienced puberty yet, where that's the level of purity that I'm having to exude. And you guys, I have so much clarity, but in the same breath, you guys, I'm not even kidding you. I'm so physically exhausted all the time and kind of spiritually exhausted. Because all I'm doing is praying to God to rescue me out of temptation and to allow me to live in a more edifying way 24/7. And I'm this is true adulthood. This is true biblical adulthood and maturity. And I'm so glad to be living in it. I think the misconception is that people are all the time Veronica, how do I get free from pornography? How do I stop lusting? All of this stuff. And I'm if you think that being corn free automatically makes your life easier, it does in the sense of I'm so liberated in the spirit and I feel so clean and cleansed. But I am if you think your life gets easier, it does not, because fighting off these demonic, lustful, Jezebel type spirits is actually so exhausting. I pray to God that it does get easier, and I think that it will, but because I'm in the first beginning stages of finding this freedom, it's a lot of withdrawals, a lot of just physical anguish, because you're having to do things differently, and just a lot of frustrations. So I'm feeling great. I feel so amazing. But this has been the hardest thing I've had to do in so long.
Immoral acts, fornication, pornia. That's another authority all by itself. What is pornia? Pornia is fornication. And fornication, I don't know if you heard the thunder, but fornication and porneia should not be found in daughters of Zion. We need to find husbands. We need to have great sex with our husbands. Pure, undefiled marriage beds are great. But porneia is lusting after things that the Most High has not caused us to do. And that's a whole chapter of Leviticus, chapter 18, goes through all the different immoral acts that you can do, but also the adultery that we can play, like a harlot. Also, when we read romantic books and erotica, which I was also guilty of, I'm not speaking to you as if you ladies are like separate to me. I'm not preaching to you, my sisters. I'm encouraging you because I'm in my 50s. And if I cannot tell you that I have not touched and mingled with all this mess, it's because I have touched and mingled with all this mess that I come here and I claim to you, my sisters, and I confess that this is not for us, and we need to stay away from her, and we need to expose her in us. I do not tolerate any of that in me, and I don't want to tolerate it in you. So unless we use our mouth and say, yes, 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 it is the spirit of Jezebel. It is the spirit of the whore. It is a woman lusting of things and coveting things that she shouldn't have. I do not want this in me, and I'm going to expose it. I'm going to say, when I read romantic books, and if you were married at the time or in a committed relationship with a shepherd and you are doing so in your imagination, you say you're safe. But didn't Yeshua say to the men that if they lust after another man's wife, they are already committing adultery in their heart? I want that to sit with you, my sisters, because the definition of adultery goes beyond them actually having sex with another man's wife. It starts, and it is very much so, in the heart first. So if they see a man clearly has a wife and they go in their imagination stripping her naked and doing things in their mind, they have already committed adultery, porneia, pornography. It's interesting that that whole word in Greek means porneia, very close to pornography. It's just the same word. It came from that. When men lust after other people, after wives of other men, they are doing the same thing, right? Now, I cannot look into my shepherd's eyes and say what he is looking at and whether the woman is single or not. That is up to him. Again, we sisters know the line of where we have to not cross. Like, submit to your husbands, my sisters. I'm talking to you and me. When you pick up a book and you know fully well that you are married, you are taken, you can also commit adultery in your heart. Harlotry while married. And you can say to me, well, Sister Deborah, I never slept with any man. I don't text on the phone. I'm holy. And I say, well, you know what, sis? You better put down those romantic books. Turn off the rated R. I know it's really hard because all these great movies, they have a whole lot of things, but it's hard to control our imaginary minds. Because I know I am a woman too. We got powerful, powerful minds. Minds that can go woo in fantasy land with another man who is not our husband, and then you wonder why when you're in bed with your hubby-dubby, he doesn't do it for you anymore. Am I talking lies? Do I get an amen? If you have an amen, type amen in the chat. Is it true? Speak it out and expose Jezebel's spirit, because until we expose her, she's going to rule. But she actually loses at the end because Yah exposes her. Yah strips her naked, throws her out the window like Jezebel is thrown out in the Old Testament, out the window. And we're going to deal with that the next episode. We're going to be standing by. But right now, let us speak it out. Let's expose it. Let us not tolerate the lustful, adulterous thoughts in our hearts, especially when you're taken. Now, if you're single, it's a little bit different, just like it's different for a man. He can't commit adultery with another single woman. But still, we got to be wary of the addiction to pornography and to romantic books, because it leads us into a degrading part where it's never enough, it's never satisfied. It starts soft. We know it starts soft. Then it goes harder. Then it gets more abusive. And that doesn't turn you on anymore. Now you got and all kinds of back-bending, insulting, humiliating acts on the internet, wherever you're doing in the privacy of your little phone. Oh, nobody sees me. But the Most High sees us. He sees our hearts. And in our hearts, we are committing fornication, idolatry, and wickedness with the whore. The same whore we are at war with. And we are going to declare her out. She's not our mother. We have a righteous mother, and we are going to be washed and cleansed. Again, we're going to talk about that in the next episode. But in the meanwhile, I want to encourage you to speak it out. Repeat it after me. We are at war with the whore. The queen is dead. Feminism is dead. Jezebel is dead. Dead in you, dead in me. And we're not tolerating not an ounce of her. No more, my sisters. We had enough. We're living now in the late 2020 soon, coming up 2025. This is enough. I am now in my 50s. I have tolerated her enough. I think she's done enough damage and she needs to be put out. She's wrecked homes. She's caused enough abortions. She's caused enough divorces. She's caused us to burn our house down. She's caused us to destroy our children. She's caused us to be rude to our husbands and to our little boys, calling them, oh, you're just like your daddy, as if daddy's so bad, which he was not. But okay, because the Jezebel spirit told you men are evil, men are bad, patriarchy is bad, leadership is bad, submission is evil, everything good is evil. That's what Jezebel has indoctrinated, but I am going to use what's left of the breath that I have in my mouth to not only worship and praise the Most High, but also speak truth, because I am a daughter of truth. And though it slay me, though it kill me, yet will I follow the Most High. Because what did they stone Yeshua for? Was it because he was speaking the truth? I do believe that was it. And who did he speak the truth to? I don't even think it was the unsaved people that stoned him. No. As I recall, when he spoke the truth, it was the religious ones that stoned him. It was the Pharisees. It was the Sadducees. It was those in the so-called faith who thought they were so holy, but they didn't want you to expose any of this. And so when Yeshua opened his mouth and spoke the truth, they hated him for it. They killed every single prophet because of the truth. My sisters, get the courage. Be like the daughters of Zion. Be the beautiful bride of Zion and love truth. Love to speak the truth, and no longer flattery, no longer watering it down for the whore, because the whore can't stand the pure stuff. But we're going to give it to her. Yes, we are. We're going to give it to her, and she's going to have to stuff it because she's dead already.